Rugby Championship round number 3, folks. Wallabies hosting the Pumas from Townsville this weekend. It is the opening of the 2 games of the Rugby Championship this weekend. Maybe not got the same billing as the Eden Park match where the Springboks will take on the ABs. But who knows, man, this match could be more entertaining. Both these sides have shown some pretty scintillating stuff in the opening 2 rounds of the Rugby Championship. Both sides certainly have some stuff to work on. The squads have been named. We'll go through them, who we're looking out for, what are the changes, some of the kind of key stats, recent history, predictions. You guys can let us know your thoughts on how this weekend's games are going to go. It's an early kickoff, this one, 2:30, so afternoon game in Townsville, which, as I said, puts it on before the Eden Park game. It's probably not the best time zone for you guys like watching in South Africa or in Europe, but for those of us in this part of the world, this is afternoon rugby, so something to get pretty excited about. For the Wallabies, you got to feel pretty excited by the fact that Tom Lyon is back at number 10. It does mean James O'Connor, the veteran, drops his place in the pecking order from starter back down to that bench role, which he was filling pretty admirably with the Crusaders this year at Super Rugby level, but the kind of first choice starter or second choice behind Noah Lolosio. Tom Lyon is back for Joe Schmidt, so they'll be excited to have the youngster, as they're back in the green and gold. And then Harry Wilson, the captain who led them to victory in Joburg, he is back in the number 8 jersey, which does see the back row shift round a little bit, but I do like it because you got Harry Wilson, the leader, the captain, the work rate guy at number 8. You got Fraser McCright, literally the top tackler of the Rugby Championship at 7, and then Rob Valentini doing his ball carrying thing from number 6. It's a pretty nice back row. They don't have a kind of traditional bit of tall timber in that back row, but I mean, these guys can compete at line-out time if needs be. They do have Hooper. That's Tom, who's switched to the second row for this one after playing in the back row last time. And then Nick Frost is there as well. Nick Frost, in all likelihood, will be the main line-out target. You'll notice there's no Will Skelton there. He's back with his club in France, which kind of sucks. We may see him back for some Bledisloe action. We'll kind of have to wait and see. It does mean they are lacking a little bit in terms of some extra kilos in that pack, because the Wallabies pack, when they got Tupou and Skelton starting, is massive. But we'll see how the pack switches up with Skelton not in the 23. The front row is unchanged, Robertson, Pollard, and Tupou. So they'll be looking to boss the Pumas at scrum time. That's going to be kind of easier said than done, but it depends on how the Pumas front up at scrum time. We'll get to their squad in a minute. They have changed some props. Backs-wise, Nick White, remember he went off really early against the Boks a couple of weeks ago. He is back if he can get his kicking game going and support young Liner. They could be a nice 9-10 combo to work well with the scintillating backline, which I said, like Ikitau, he's full of ball carries. Suoliti with the crazy skill set, the aerial game, the offload game. He's back after missing half that game against the Boks in Cape Town. Corey Toole, try on debut, 7 defenders beaten. He has been electric once he finally got given a chance. And Jorgensen has just been, he's been in scintillating form all year for the Wallabies. He is a proper danger man. They are without Tom Wright. He's done a pretty serious ACL injury, which means he's going to be gone for the season. So Andrew Callaway's got some pretty big shoes to fill at 15 jumper, but he's a veteran. He's been there and done that. He may not have the kind of pure X factor that Tom Wright does on the kind of kick return, but as I said, he's a veteran. He's a pretty reliable player to have there at the back. For the bench, Painga Mosa Bell Nongor, no changes to their front row replacements. That's same. Jeremy Williams, likewise, will be that kind of high work rate replacement lock when he comes on. Tizano is into the 23. He'll bring the tackles when he comes on. If they are defending a lead, he's a perfect guy to have there. Tate McDermott, he's the kind of opposite end. He's going to bring you some sniping and some attacking action from number 9 when he comes on. So if you're chasing a game, perfect guy to have there. James O'Connor, as I said, the veteran is there, and Filippo Dalgunu is back into the 23. Remember, he missed the tour to South Africa because they were awaiting the birth of a child, but he is, back and available, and he can cover, midfield, he can cover the outside back, so a good guy to have in there. So overall, I feel like it's a pretty good-looking Wallabies side. They're happy to spin it. They scored a maul try against the Boks, so they can do that. The Argentinians certainly had an issue containing the All Blacks maul, so that might be an area the Wallabies go for. Kind of have to wait and see. For the Pumas, they kept their squad pretty stable when they announced the team going down to Australia, but 2 of the key players they left out of the squad were 2 of their props. So they've had to promote Sclavi to tight head in place of Delgado, which is, in terms of experience, it's a promotion. It's It's an improvement. It's an upgrade, whatever word I'm trying to find here. Sclavi is a big old unit, and he's a big scrummaging tight head. So he's a good guy to have there. Vivas and Montoya continue on. It does mean they've had to bring in Francisco Correa. He is the replacement tight head, so he wasn't in the 23 against the ABs. And they've got Boris Wigner, who'll be making his debut if he comes on as your loose head replacement. Remember, there's still no Gajo in this Pumas squad, unavailable due to injury. Wigner did play in one of those earlier matches in the year, but it was against the British and Irish Lions. It was a win. Came on and scrummaged all right, but it didn't count as a cap, so it still will be his debut. But in terms of maybe the pressure, maybe there's less pressure playing the Wallabies away at Townsville than the British and Irish Lions opening game of their campaign. I don't know, but either way, congratulations to the young man. But certainly, we saw a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde performance from the Pumas up front in Game 1 and Game 2. Game 1, they were getting a bit bossed by the ABs, conceding penalties at scrum time. They were conceding more tries. They still conceded one in the game they won, but they fronted up a lot better in that second. They'll be looking to take that form from the second game up front and push that through to the Wallabies game. Molina and Rubiolo continue on in the second row, so same. The back row has been really impressive for the Pumas. Juan Martin Gonzalez is there at 6 this week. He's switching. He's been busting tackles. You've got Crema, who's a big unit tackle machine. Proper big bit of Argentinian beef there at number 7. And Matera, who was a man possessed in that second game against the All Blacks, he is there at number 8. So the back row for the Pumas for many years has been very competitive. It means Oviedo does drop to the bench. He'll likely come on at number 8. Matera potentially switches to replace Crema. We'll have to wait and see. Garcia and Carreras is the 19 combo. Remember, Thomas Albanoz is one of the other guys they had to leave behind making the trip to Australia because he got injured. His hand injury against the All Blacks means he's unavailable, which sucks because he's a proper explosive, attack-minded 10. But Carreras led the Pumas to a pretty good win over the ABs, so not a bad replacement to have. He's played a lot of international rugby at 10, so by no means a downgrade, just a different kind of player. Chocobares and Sinti were looking way more impressive than the ABs midfield when they played, so look out for those guys. Sinti has been busting a lot of tackles, and then, if you're excited about the back three battles this week, if anything, this is the game to watch, man, because I already highlighted the Wallabies wingers. The Pumas have got Dalgi, who was on fire. Couldn't quite finish off a try against the ABs on the right. They've got Carreras, that's Mateo Carreras on the left. He was likewise chewing through the run meters, had more run meters than the entire All Blacks backline in that last game. And then Malia there, offloading King. Reliable guy at fullback there at 15. It'd be nice if Tom Wright was playing. That'd make it kind of icing on the cake, battle of the back threes. But either way, we're still in for a treat with both these teams. Ignacio Ruiz is the replacement hooker. I've already mentioned the props. Petty is still there, the veteran replacement lock. Oviedo, as I mentioned already. Mojano, the replacement scrum half, is there in the 21 jumper. Priscantali could get his debut if he comes off the bench. He's been playing a lot of exciting rugby over in Italy in the URC, so certainly another attack-minded player to look out for. And then Elizalde has also played a bit of fullback for the Pumas. We'll see if he comes on for Malia or if he rides the pine for the entire game. For the Pumas, man, as I said, the forwards, if they front up like they did in Game 2 against the All Blacks, will give themselves a heck of a good chance. Stats-wise, we have seen the threat of the Aussie backline against the Boks. I mean, Max Jorgensen is leading the way for clean breaks in this competition. Tom Wright, despite playing only 3 minutes in the second game, still leads the competition for run meters. He has been on fire, and they're not conceding penalties. It's a really big thing to go to South Africa. I think they conceded 10 penalties across 2 games. Most teams have been in double digits for 1 game alone, so the Wallabies' discipline has been very good. They're the only team not to concede a yellow card. They'll certainly, they had injuries in that last game. That caused them to have the disruption with other teams maybe deal with discipline. So if the Wallabies can keep the starting 15 on the field for more than 5-10 minutes like the last game and keep the discipline they've had in the first 2, they'll be putting themselves in a good position. Argentina certainly put the All Blacks under pressure with the high ball. It'll be interesting if they go to that tactic against the Wallabies as well. They've been busting tackles though, as I mentioned. Some of the top leading guys, I think the top 3 leading guys in this competition for defenders beaten are all Argentinian players. They haven't been getting the tries though. They've been quite happy to take the threes. So that is one thing they also need to look out for, the Wallabies. If they do concede penalties, the Pumas will be happy to slot them. But if the Wallabies keep their discipline, there's no chance to take those threes. So the Pumas will have to start scoring some tries. Their own penalty count has been a bit high. the Pumas. They'd like to bring those numbers down a bit. Recent history between the sides is in Argentina's favor. If we look at the last 5, it's 3-2 to Argentina, but 4 of the 5 games were played in Argentina. We haven't had a lot of games in Australia. The one that was in Australia was that 2023 Rugby World Cup year. Eddie Jones's side went down in Sydney 34-31. So the Pumas have had the edge over the Wallabies in recent times, but as I mentioned, it's largely Argentinian based. Last year they split the games where the Aussies kind of got a bit of an upset win by a point, 20 points to 19 over in La Plata, but then they got hammered the next week 67-27 when the Pumas absolutely unleashed. Pumas are coming off a big win in terms of like underdogs rolling the ABs, so maybe they're due for a loss because that tends to be how the Pumas roll, but we will see. Predictions wise, the Aussies are the favourites with the bookies and the rugby forecast algorithm by 5 points. So it's supposed to be a tight one either way. I reckon it could be pretty exciting, but you guys let us know your thoughts. If any of you Wallabies fans want Wallabies gear, check the link down in the description to the Wallabies shop. They're an affiliate of the channel. You use that link, it tells them 2 cents sent you. But yeah, you guys let us know your thoughts. How do you reckon it's going to go? Do the Wallabies back up after some early opening good form against the Springboks? Or can the Pumas win 2 in a row? You guys take care. Subscribe to the channel. And I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.